What is up guys, this is GamingBaconTV here, and today I've got another tutorial video. In this video I'll be showing you how to download, install and then preview Xcode 6 beta. So in this Xcode 6 obviously there's going to be a lot of new features which have been long awaited and are going to really help Apple developers. So one of the main features is the introduction of Swift. And Swift is the new Apple developing language which developers can use. I find it very similar to JavaScript. I don't know very much if it's similar to Objective-C. I think it is. And I also think it incorporates frameworks from Cocoa and Cocoa Touch. Apple have been saying that, you know, it's like Objective-C but without the C, so it's straight to the point and it's just straight to the objective. You know, you get what you want. You don't mess around with all the more colons and semicolons and then strings and all that stuff. So that's a very good feature, and Apple have said that it's the future of Apple app developing and the future of Apple itself. So as you can see here, I am on the developer.apple.com website, and this is kind of the home screen. I'll put the link in the description, and if we scroll down to half of the page, you can see these three icons under download the latest development tools and SDKs. This is all the kind of stuff if you really want to start, getting the iOS 8, beta. And the Yosemite beta. If you haven't seen the Yosemite beta, go check it out. Right now, as you saw, I clicked on the Xcode, and there we get onto the download page. Now you can download Xcode 5, but this does not include the Swift incorporation. This is the last year's model, so it's good, but it just hasn't got this Swift. If you really do want to try the Swift and the playground, which they've added, you want to get the Xcode 6 beta, including Swift, which is just here. And as you can see below, there's a download link for it. And if you didn't know, Playground is about being able to see what you're developing as you're coding it, so you kind of, get the results straight away. So I'm going to go and download that, and I'll see you right when I've finished. Right, so I'm back. I've downloaded Xcode 6 Beta 4, and I'm just going to install it with you guys. So load it up, and it's going to load a couple of minutes. Okay, so as you can see, it's opened a dialog box, and I'm just going to have to drag the file into the application folder, and it should all work from there. So you just, as you can see, take it and you drop it in there, and then it'll just install it. That'll take another couple of minutes. Okay, so I'm back, and I've got Xcode 6 Beta 4 installed, and I've just been kind of playing with it for about a day now. So as you can see, when we load up, we've got all these four, the kind of same layout as the previous one. The only difference, as you can see there, it says get started with Playground, which I kind of explained a bit earlier. So I'm just going to start a new one, and I'm just going to call it Xcode 6 Beta Testing. Save it in desktop, and then, so as you can see there, I've already kind of given a variable called str is equal to hello playground. So in the preview we can see the hello playground. So if I just get something loaded up for you guys. So one of the main things is I'm just going to kind of give a few quick examples of what you can do. So the first thing is a variable. So a variable is defined by var, and then you've got to give your variable. So usually you have to give for example, you give a lowercase and then you give an uppercase like that to get for the name of your variable, and I can make that equal to 42. And as you'll see in Playground, it'll display the value 42. Now if I then write my variable and make it equal to 50, my variable is now equal to 50. So I can show you that by just typing my variable, because that should show you what it's equal to. And as you can see there, it displayed 50. I can then also make a constant, and for that I have to write let. So let is my constant, and I can then call it my constant, and I can make it equal to 42. Now these values, just like that, they don't mean much, but when you can then create a variable, for example, called variable constant, you can then that make equal to my variable plus my constant, and as you can see there, the value is 92, and that's because we changed my variable from 42 to 50, and 50 plus 42 is equal to 92. You can also just write this like that, like a calculator, which then should display 92 below. We can then also start making it where we create more difficult stuff. So let's say let apples equal to 3, let oranges equal to 5, and then let apple summary equal to I have. Now here usually you would write string, so to let them know that apples is a string. But there with Swift you can just do a backslash and just write apples, and then there, and you can just like that. So as you can see there in the answer, it previews I have 3 apples. You can also then do let fruit summary, and we'll make that equal to I have backslash apples. So I'm bringing the value 3 from the apples, and I'm adding the oranges value, and then I can just write pieces of fruit, and then in the Playground it should say I have 8 pieces of fruit. Then what you can do is you can also do arrays and dictionaries. So I'm just going to go through quickly those. So I'm going to make a variable shopping list, and I'm going to make that equal to a load of items. So I'm going to call it fish, and then I'm going to call it water, and then what else? Tulips. Oops, forgot this first. Speech mark. And then blue paint. Now how specific I am right now doesn't matter, because here, since this is an array, if you're like a dictionary, I can just write this, and as you can see here, when I click, it says 0 fish, 1 water, tulips 3, and blue paint, tulips 2 and blue paint 3. So what I can do there is I can select an item. So I want to select the fish, and I can make it equal to catfish, and I can then do the same for water. I can select number 1, which here is equal to water, and I can make that equal to bottles of water. So then when I write shopping list, you should see that the dictionary changes from catfish, from fish to catfish, and from water to bottles of water. That's just because I changed the values later on. Then what we can do is we can then do the same with occupations, for example. So occupations, and then we just create that, and we want to create, we'll call him Malcolm. There, and we'll give him a job of being captain. And then we just put a comma, and then we'll get another person called Kaylee, and we'll give her a job of being a mechanic, and then just put a comma again and just press enter. Oops. And then occupations, we can then add Jane, and we can say that she is a public relation employee. Public relations. So that's her job. So now when we write occupations, we should get this. We should get that Malcolm is a captain, Jane is a public relations employee, and Kaylee is a mechanic. So it's added them all together. Then we can go into more intense stuff, some giving it rules. So I can control, do like a control flow if you want. So I can say let individual score equal to, now because these are numbers, I don't need to put speech marks around them, so I can make 75, 43, 103, 87, and 12. And then I can create a variable called team score and make that equal to 0. And then for the score in individual score, we can give it a kind of a true or false. So we'll say if the score is greater than 50, we can display team score gets 3 points, and then we can just close that one, and then we can write else, like it down there, I'll write it there, else the team score, so if the team score is less than 50, there, it'll give them only 1 point. And then you can write the team score as team score, and it shows 11. So for the score in the individual score, there it would show 2 times. So the score is greater than 50 there 3 times, but here the score is less than 50 twice, with the 43 and the 12. So therefore the team score would be it'd be 3 times 3 here, so you'd get 9, and then it'd be 2 times 1, so you'd get 2. So the whole kind of end score is 11, because 9 plus 2 gives you 11. Anyway guys, that's all we've got time for today. I thank you for watching. Please like, favourite and subscribe. And if you'd like any more videos on this Swift coding, just drop a like, as I said, and leave a comment. Thanks again. Peace out.